You get a palette, and you get a palette, and you get a palette, and you get a palette. Everybody gets palettes. Hi guys, my name is Lisa. Welcome back to my channel, and this is Hobby Beauty. Today we're going to be talking about all of my Colourpop palettes here. I think I have a problem. I'm going to be going through my least favorite of my palettes to my most favorite of my Colourpop palettes. So let's get into it. First, we're going to start off with my least favorite. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14 palettes. So my least favorite is this one right here, which I actually do like. It is my Disney Designer Colourpop palette. And this is what she looks like. There are a lot of, I'd say, soft tones in here. A lot of like neutral soft tones, romantic tones in this palette. The only thing is I don't feel like it compares to the other ones as far as the formula. Just the formula is off on this one, but I have tried it and I do like some of the shades. I really like Triton here and some of the softer shades like Juju. And I love Prince Charming. That is a beautiful nude shade. So definitely recommend it. It's got this really nice sparkly black in here as well as a nice silver. So that is number 14 for my least favorite. Next we have the Femme Rosa palette. The She palette by Femme Rosa. It's a Carucci and Colourpop collab. This is what she looks like. She's got a lot of romantic tones here, rosy tones. The only thing is this whole row is all satins, and it's got a pressed glitter here, which I don't mind, but I'm not a big fan of the satins, so this is why it's further back on my list. So that is the She palette. Next up is the Mar palette. The Mar palette is one of those harder cased palettes. Now the last two that I showed you, they didn't have any mirrors on them, which I'm not as big of a fan of. But the Mar palette does have a mirror. This is what she looks like. I love the neutral tones. There's just too many like metallic bronzy shades. Like there's this one, this one, this one. It's got a pop of blue in there, so there's a lot of different things you can do with it, but that's why it's further back on my list. So that's the Mar palette. Next up, we have the Through My Eyes palette. This one's newer to my collection. It does have a lot of shades. It has a mirror. That's what she looks like. I've tried a few of them. I haven't tried all the shades yet, but I definitely like the green, the emerald green one, mixed with these two. So that's the Through My Eyes palette. Next up, we have the Just My Luck palette. This is a monochromatic palette, green palette by Colourpop. It's the same as the Mar palette. It has a mirror and it's all greens. The reason it's further back on my list is because it is not as much of a wearable palette because it's all green. It's really like you're looking for a bolder look if you're going with an all green look. So that's the Just My Luck palette. Next up, we have the Yes Please palette. This is the Yes Please palette. It is the #1 selling palette on the Colourpop website. It is really great for like a sunset look, if you're looking for something like that, or a more bold look. But it definitely is wearable as well. It's got some neutral tones down here, and it's a very beautiful palette. So that's the Yes Please palette. Next up, this one's been through it a little bit. This is the Take Me Home palette by Colourpop. It's a smaller palette. It does have a mirror. It's only got 6 shades, and I don't think it's for sale. Oh, it still has the plastic on the mirror. I don't think it's for sale on the website anymore, but if I'm going for a like corally look and I don't want to use the Yes Please palette, then I'd go for this Take Me Home palette. Next up, we have the Ooh La La palette. If you know me, you know I love pink. It is a monochromatic all pink palette. It's the same as the Just My Luck and the Mar palette with the plastic packaging. And it's got all pink shades, which can be a bold look as well, but I do love me some pink. So that's why it's further up on my list. Next up, we have the Good Sport palette. The Good Sport palette doesn't have a mirror. It's the cardboard packaging, but it is great for fall. It is, especially this orange shade here, this metallic shade, it is, when September, October hits, I'm going to be using this one a lot. But this is the Good Sport palette. Next up, we have the Give It To Me Straight palette. It does not have a mirror on it. It's got a bunch of rosy, mauve tones to it, and it's very wearable. It's very good for every day. So that is the Give It To Me Straight palette, and I love the names on it because it's like matter of fact, forthright, candid, truth hurts, frank. It's very Give It To Me Straight. So that's the Give It To Me Straight palette. Next up, we have the Double Entendre palette. The Double Entendre palette is your basic warm toned neutral palette. It's got some pops of golds and bronzes, but you're really looking for a neutral bronzy look when you're going for this Double Entendre palette, and I love it. I've been very much into the neutrals lately. Next up, we have the Dream Street palette. This is a collaboration with Kathleen Lights, and I'd say that this is, well, this is in my top 4 palettes. It's just, the formula is amazing, and the shades, the pop of, I love this shade Kaleidoscope because it's like a silver, but it's also got some blue reflex in it. It is just stunning, and you can make so many different looks with this. I definitely highly recommend you get this one. Next up, we have the Fame palette. The Fame palette is a cool toned neutral palette, and I love to go to this one on days where I'm wanting a cool tone look. It's got 16 shades, so it's one of their bigger palettes, but it is definitely, it doesn't have a mirror, which I don't like, but it is definitely a must-have if you're looking for a cool tone palette. Next up, we have the Sweet Nothings palette. This one I absolutely love. It has got so many romantic tones in it, and it's got this pop of gold. I've gotten compliments so many times when I've used this palette. It is just very, very amazing. And, you know, I don't know that they have it for sale on the website anymore, but if you ever find it, highly, highly recommend it. Sweet Nothings palette. And my top palette for Colourpop has to be You Had Me at Hello. It has got the mauve romantic tones, some neutrals as well, and I reach for this one probably the most out of all of them. I just absolutely love it. And it has a mirror, so the You Had Me at Hello is my #1 palette from Colourpop. So those are all my palettes from Colourpop. I'm probably going to get more in the future, but as for now, I think I have enough. So let me know what you thought of this video. Give me a comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.